want this to be my background.
The hell is I can't see what that is.
Gotta go higher.
There you go.
Fucking horrible.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Film Asylum. We are not coming at you in the Loomis room. We are Skyping today. We are your hosts, Collin Peters.
John Rochetter.
Yeah, Manfred. Wow. Background
We don't really have a topic today. We're just going to be BSing, right, guys?
We thought this would be an appropriate bullshit episode because we can't be together at this time right now.
Because I was going to say, drum roll, please. Jeff got COVID.
Yes.
But honestly,
And it's
Tell
somehow
everybody
Jeff's
how you're feeling,
getting
Jeff.
COVID.
I'm doing pretty good. A little tired, but after the initial push, it once it left my body, I was fine. Just tired.
That's good. I know some people who've had some really excruciating long-term effects after it's been relieved from their bodies. It sucks. I just don't wish that on anybody right now. Just fatigue and flu-like symptoms and vomiting constantly and not even be able to breathe. I know some people who are still feeling the effects weeks after they had it relieved. So It's not fun.
Yeah. Well, it's a virus, so, I mean, it's weird. I mean, I heard Joe Rogan even say it best that it's just weird. It seems to affect people so differently, depending on who you are and what age you are. Some people kick it in a day or two, and then and feel like nothing happened to them. And then you got Jeff, who got it for how long did you have it for? At least 7 days.
Yeah, about 7 altogether.
Okay. And then, you got people dying from it, which is unfortunate. And we don't know the long-term effects of it either. And we could get some scarring in our lungs or something for all we know. And now the vaccine, who knows what the heck's going on with that.
I had no idea you had to get 2 vaccines. That's apparently what's going on. You get one vaccine, it eliminates 70% chance of getting the virus. Then you have to wait 3 weeks. And then the second vaccine is a 95% killing of the virus. I don't know. That's what I heard.
I don't know either. I just know it's twice. And they said you're probably still going to get it even if you get both vaccines. But it's still your call. And I'm like, I don't know. I never really trusted shots anyway, in general, just because they never really work for me. That's my opinion. I'm not swaying anybody to do or not do anything.
Yeah.
I'm not a doctor. I don't know.
Yeah.
If it helps you, great. I mean, not much I can say about it.
If I was a doctor, I'd be a 1950s doctor, being certifiably insane. I mean, we work at a fucking mental institution for film. 1950s doctor, I think that's appropriate. I just go around saying everybody's insane. I wear the big, long, white lab coat.
Jeff would be Doctor Who.
I don't know if I'd fit that whole
I'd be Dr.
Come on, dude, I'd love to time travel, but I'd be a total dick about it, too.
Well, that's why I would be that doctor. I could just see you going to every Tampa Bay Lightning game and just throwing an extra puck in the ice rink and just be like, ah!
Just for no reason at all.
Fight the mascot and just be like, yo, look at that ball guy fighting the mascot year after year, week after week. The dude never ages.
Does Tampa Bay Lightning even have a mascot?
Yeah, it's a lightning bug.
It's a lightning bug?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
There's also an unofficial mascot. It's a astronaut. Guy shows up to almost every home game dressed as an astronaut.
What?
Yeah, I'll just send you guys a picture. Like it's funny when you see him. Like he's usually on the front of the glass too. So it's like you see him just dancing and stuff. Like, dude, that's got to be hot after a while.
Nothing strikes
That's like
fear
the
into the
fly.
hearts of an opponent on the rink than a lightning bug.
I don't know, man. You look at Gritty from Flyers.
That's straight up. That's
Yeah.
terrifying. That right there is enough to strike fear into the hearts of an opponent just by the look of him. It survives on eating orange shit and trash.
So it belongs in Philly.
Belongs in Philly. I've seen people making parody videos of that thing with basically Gritty being in the sewer, basically reminiscing Stephen King's It, except the clown, it's fucking Gritty trying to lure kids into the sewer system.
You know, Joke looks like a coworker of mine.
Hey, we got Stanley Cups down here. You do? Oh, yes. The Stanley Cups.
Oh, yeah.
They float down here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Well, I guess. So we don't really have many questions, I guess, for this BS episode. So
I haven't heard from any fans at all in a long time, actually.
That's fine. I mean, I have a question. What have you guys been up to lately?
I know, dude. It's been about a month since we've actually been together because of everything.
Yeah.
Oh well, we got new sweatshirts from Jen Harding.
Yeah.
We did.
Yeah, but
That we ordered a
Yeah.
month ago. They've just been sitting in Jeff's house waiting for us.
So everybody check out Jen Harding's website, bigcartel.com. Jen Harding Art. Also, you can find her stuff at Hot Topic. She's got really cool stuff. I'm excited for the hoodie. I'm like,
Dude, it's really soft. Like I was wearing it like last week, so
That's awesome.
enjoy it.
When I get the hoodie, I'm probably going to get rid of some other ratty hoodies that I don't want anymore so I can make room for this one.
good thing is, well, we still got March, but cold weather is almost done with here in
It's
PA.
50 degrees out right now, or at least it's going to be 50 degrees out today.
Dude, we're supposed to get more snow. Probably next week.
I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that because when it snows, I got to shovel it. Not just my place, but 3 other places.
I got no with it. It's like high right now.
Yo, did you guys see the video of the snowball not melting?
No.
No.
Some dude with his phone, he just goes and grabs a bunch of snow with his hand, throws it in a fire, and it's not melting. Then he actually like sticks his hand in the fire pit and he puts a lighter to it, and the fucker doesn't melt. And then you hear him. He sounded foreign too. He's like, "This snow don't melt."
It's probably radioactive. It's probably not even snow.
Well, apparently there's another video where somebody did the same thing, and they said there's like a chemical smell to it.
Ugh.
I'm like, man, what the hell's out in the air?
Maybe the fireplace is made of CGI. I don't know.
I should go out and try it.
He's fucking with us.
We got more than enough.
Yeah, really. Let's wait for the fresh batch to come in.
My dog loves that the most. He just jumps in it, makes circles, dive bombs, eats it, shits in it, pisses in it. Yeah, he loves the snow.
So, what do you guys think about the Justice League trailer that was released? The official Justice League trailer.
Dude, I'm actually pumped for that. It
Oh yeah?
better be fucking good. I'm gonna be even more pissed.
I'm excited, but I'm also still being very reserved because I see the internet exploding after they saw the trailer. I'm like, guys, listen to me. There's still a chance the film could suck. Okay, this is not a guarantee, but I do think it looks better than what we got in 2017. And I can definitely tell this is definitely Zack Snyder's version for sure. I mean, I did see like an image or two that we saw already from 2017. There's a couple shots that stick out to me, like Aquaman trying to stop the water from going after the Justice League, and he stops it with the trident. I mean, we saw that in 2017. There's a few other things here and there, but it definitely looks like his version and no other.
Well, I'm pretty sure some of those shots were also used from Zack Snyder too. Like you said, like Aquaman stopping the water from hitting guys in the Justice League. I think that was definitely part of like what the Snyder footage was.
Yeah.
I mean, it just sounds like whatever Joss Whedon had, or what they call the Justice League. Sounds like a Boston.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Justice League.
The Boston accent. Yeah.
Yeah.
But at least Steppenwolf looks like he could actually kill somebody, unlike the last incarnation that we had. He's got spikes in his armor. It looks like it's moving at times. He actually looks formidable. And we even saw an image of Darkseid too. He wasn't just talked about. He's actually in the movie.
That I'm kind of curious about, like how far they're going to take it with Darkseid.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of doors they can open up with him, especially bringing in Supergirl too.
Supergirl.
Plus, originally there was supposed to be a Justice League Part 2.
Honestly, now that HBO has,
If you guys remember, it was supposed to be part.
So yeah, HBO Max, basically they can probably do more, whatever they want to do with a continuation, or unless maybe this is, I don't know, is it just part 1, or is this part 2 meshed in with this? Because I heard it's a 4-hour long or 4-part movie basically.
Honestly,
I have no idea.
I'm hoping for a 4-hour long movie because there's a lot that they could have done. Got to fix. So let's see how far this goes.
Yeah.
Like, if I remember correctly, they cut out like an hour, maybe like an hour 20 minutes out of the other Justice League. So I'm wondering what else could have been. Like, obviously they added in the whole like Pet Cemetery part and some of the funnier moments, but it kind of like changed the whole mood of the movie.
Yeah.
I know when Avengers came out, people were all like in awe of it, and it still is a really cool movie. But you know, I think people gave Joss Whedon way too much credit for that film, just because every other Marvel movie was really good up until that point. So it was like, how could it not be good?
Mm. I
And
was
then
not.
just because it was like coming together of them all, and it made a shit ton of money, it was like, well, I guess he's like the man now.
Yeah.
It's like, nah, not really. He didn't do anything different, really. It was just the structure of the film. It was just really cool.
That was my feeling after I saw just Avengers: Age of Ultron. I'm like, maybe he's not exactly the man. This one didn't really do it for me.
Oh, I think Ultron didn't have that more impactful of a story.
No. There's like one or two things that stuck throughout the entire MCU from that movie, and that was the Sokovia, the giant fucking island that just crashes down to Earth and destroys an entire country, or I don't know what the fuck happened. It's been a while since I've seen that one. I really don't care to see Age of Ultron because it just kind of felt meaningless to me.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't really have anything that progressed the story a whole lot besides, like you said, the island and the people dying and Captain America Civil War, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Hulk going away.
Yeah.
Yeah, other than that, it was pretty weak.
Scarlet Witch, her accent. She no longer talks with an accent. Oh, I guess she's going to speak with an American accent and just, all right, we're just not going to acknowledge that? Okay, fine.
Wait, aren't you talking about, what the fuck is that called? Infinity War?
No, like Age of Ultron, you see Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver.
Yeah, she's
like,
Russian.
Yeah, she's
Yeah,
Russian,
they're
but all of a
Russian.
sudden she drops her accent as the movies progresses. She's no longer Russian. She's just, I guess we're just gonna accept that she's American now. She just lost her accent.
Oh yeah, but you can tell she was Russian in Ultron.
It just, I don't know. It's just continuity errors. Like, okay, we're just gonna shove that under the rug and not acknowledge it. Just like in Captain America: Civil War, where the fuck is Shield? Oh, I guess they're nowhere to be found during this Civil War.
Fuck
There's this
Shield.
conveniently placed camera on a There's this conveniently placed camera on a tree that shows Tony Stark's parents getting killed. It just happened to be at the right place at the right time to view everything. Come on. This one camera.
Maybe Tony
And,
Stark's dad put it there.
these are
All
just
on
questions
purpose.
that people choose not to answer. People choose not to acknowledge because it was a good, fun movie. Fuck continuity. Fuck things keeping a natural flow. Why ask questions? You're asking too many questions. It's good. It's good. It's all good. All of it's good. Seriously. That's what it comes like to these MCU fanatics. They don't want to answer questions. They just want to say, no, it's good. I don't have to answer any questions because it's good. So
That's
all right,
people
fine.
taking it seriously.
Yeah. Yeah, we just talked about the Justice League trailer. I don't know about you guys, but I'm more excited about Mortal Kombat because that trailer just dropped a couple days ago, and I'm pumped about that because the last thing that I remember seeing was Mortal Kombat Legacy. While it was fun on YouTube and all, then there's another film that came out in '97. I'll talk about that later in a Movie Morgue episode. I've already written the script for it, so. But I'm more excited for Mortal Kombat. That's just me personally.
I think you should do that episode with Jeff.
With what? Mortal Kombat Annihilation?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've done a movie morgue. I did those like 4 or 5 right off the bat. It's like, and I haven't had time to do any.
I mean, Jeff, you'll love it because I've written a 10-page note. I've written 10 pages of notes about that movie, so I know you'll love it. You'll love a collaboration if you don't kill me.
Fucking writing a book.
It's not 10 pages. It's more like 3 and a half.
Most
You guys
notes,
hear about how?
like most notes I write are like scribbled
Go
on
ahead.
a piece of paper, and they fucking, that's it. There's no like you have them typed out and fucking look beautiful.
Just
And he brings his laptop and pop shit up too.
neatly placed bullet points and just like clear headings and Times New Roman 12-point font.
Yeah, I looked like I had a seizure when I did mine, and you're like, here, I made this beautiful.
Imagine if I had a whiteboard.
Oh my gosh, get out of here.
I still remember Jeff when we were doing Power Rangers. I've read multiple occurrences. I'm holding 4 pages of notes. Mind you, they're only like 3 inches by 5-inch piece of paper. Like, as if that was any better.
Like this
It's like a little
big.
notepad, but
Oh God.
It's like the one and only time I spent the effort to find out where the fuck that fit in the timeline.
and here it wasn't even part of the timeline at all.
Oh my gosh.
And we got shitty Zords, shitty CGI, shitty costumes.
Everything.
The show with recycled footage was better.
Oh,
Wow. Man, had Hollywood sunken so low that
Oh my gosh.
Jesus.
Dude, yelling so bad in that episode.
so did you guys see that? That was still a fun episode though.
Oh yeah. Of course.
Ivan Ooze.
Fucking Ivan Ooze. Why? Why?
Did you guys see that there's a possibility Halloween Kills may come to streaming?
No, I didn't say that.
Yeah, it seems like it's a lot more of a common occurrence now because nobody knows when anything's going to open up. And with everyone going to on-demand movies, they're still got to make their money back. And it sucks because like the theater is always going to be a fun thing to do, but at this moment, it's like with everything going on, it's just kind of killing everything.
Yeah. I did hear that New York is going to be opening a bunch of theaters in March. So I guess I don't know if that's going to be like a trend-setting thing where if New York theaters are opening, then maybe that'll lend itself to other theaters across the country opening. Because I know what HBO Max is doing is that every new release, it's going to be dropping on their streaming platform, but at the same time, it's also going to be released in theaters the same day.
Yeah.
Which is smart because, you know.
Well, if theaters are opening up in New York, I don't see why more can't open up around here. I mean, that's where
Exactly.
a lot of the pandemic really hit.
I'll be upset if
I
have
don't know
to
how
watch.
they're doing things.
I'll be upset if I have to watch Mortal Kombat on my fucking television and not a fucking big screen.
Get a bigger TV.
I should get more money. Help me, I'm poor.
Honestly, it was cool watching Wonder Woman on the TV, but I totally forgot about like the whole 25-day thing. So they only HBO Max only had it for 25 days, and then they had to get rid of it. So I think I watched it with you once, and I watched it that night when they first dropped it. I went to watch it a third time, and I missed it by a day.
Oh,
I know they did that. 25 days, and then it's off there. Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's part of the contract because, like, I guess because they want to make their money, they have to do the 25 days, and then it's gone. And
Okay,
then,
all right, I can see that. Okay.
I was like, all right, it makes sense. So it's like all the
Yeah.
movies they have, like those contracts with, are just 25 days.
Okay.
Most people are gonna watch,
well,
but
I heard a big reason why some of these movies are going to streaming is because the interest that they get is still rising because they're just sitting on the shelf. So that's why they're pushing to get some of these things released. And a movie like that and Halloween Kills, yeah, Halloween Kills, probably gonna make their money back easily. Halloween Kills, especially, I don't see that being really expensive.
No, it's a small
I
budget.
can't get it out. Oh, it's stuck in my glasses.
Well, you had a hair in your glasses?
Yeah, and it was like in my mouth.
Oh man.
Ever since the lockdown, I just let my hair grow out.
Yeah, it's getting there. It's getting back to its old college form. I remember.
Yeah. If it gets long enough, we'll donate it again. Why
Hey.
not? Better than it just falling in the trash. At least do something good out of all this bullshit.
Have you guys seen any movies recently? Anything that like struck out to you? That was good, that was bad, that was ugly?
I've seen a lot.
Jeff keeps talking about Host.
Yeah.
The Host.
But honestly, like, Colin posted that picture on our chat with the Love Witch. Fucking Shudder did their last drive-in like Valentine's Day special. It was that and Tammy and the T-Rex. So the first night in my quarantine, what they showed that live. So I ended up watching the first movie, the Tammy and the T-Rex. Worst thing I've ever seen in my life. I know.
Oh my god!
And then
I love when the T-Rex answers the phone.
Oh my god. Dude, that was the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. But it was just funny because, like,
oh my god,
dude, it knew what it was.
they made this. They made this. And how I heard how this movie happened is that somebody approached the director saying, "Hey, I have an animatronic T-Rex for 2 weeks. You have 2 weeks to use this thing, and I'm going to ship it to Texas after it's done. Do you want to do something with it?" So they wrote a script out of their ass. They filmed this thing for 2 weeks, and then when the dinosaur was gone, they inserted the principal characters and built a story around this animatronic T-Rex. I mean, hey, they're opportunists and they took advantage of it, but it wasn't for the best results. No, one of my favorite parts is Denise Richards running away from a conflict and she's like waving her arms like, "Leave me
alone!" No. The weird striptease at the end with the brain in the camera. That
just
was probably...
kill me. Just kill me. If that was me as the fucking brain, just fucking take a shotgun to my head and blow it to pieces. Just put me out of my misery. I don't want to be a brain.
We don't have to do that if you just want to be a brain.
Gotta love the really awful gore effects and the guy holding his ripped up torso in front of his body to make it look like he was just chopped in half. You can see his body on the other side of the torso.
Oh my gosh.
It's a gem.
No. When the two guys slide under the car to hide from this T-Rex, and he just jumps on top of it and just smashes them down.
Oh my god.
Oh.
I love how she has a phone line to her own house. Like her dad's calling her from inside the house.
Dude, the fact that it was Paul Walker and Denise Richards is what caught me off guard.
I know. Paul Walker. Oh god. I guess you gotta start somewhere.
Fucking was it him and the bad guy grabbing each other's dick in the middle of the school?
I know, there was a ball grab scene. It turns into like a UFC fight out of nowhere. There's a lot of pushing and shoving. This guy is hyper violent for a guy who just stole his girlfriend in a high school situation. He wants to feed him to lions? Like, what? This is not typical high school behavior.
Oh.
Usually what we did was we went to the movies, maybe we like just hung out in a parking lot and loitered. No, these guys want to take it up a notch and feed some kid to a pack of lions.
Stayed at a mall when it closed.
Oh god. And also, yeah, I love that it was called Tanny and the Teenage T-Rex, but then the DVD cover says Tammy and the T-Rex. They couldn't even make up their mind what they wanted to call this movie. It's so bad. No, it's the T-Rex with the human arm puppet answering the phone from the payphone.
Yo, I'll just send you that clip. It is probably the funniest thing.
No, you just need to see this clip, Collin. You'll lose your shit once you see it.
I don't know. I watched Alligator, unfortunately, because you guys were talking about it. Now, dude,
Alligator is a masterpiece compared to this movie.
Oh god.
Watch it, dude. I just saw the clips on that documentary, and I'm like,
Alligator is amazingly, awesomely bad 80s horror monster. I mean, come on. That fucking banquet scene at the very end with the alligator. Oh god. It doesn't take itself seriously. Like, hey, there's an alligator in there. Alligator. There's no one by the name of Alligator on this list. Open the fucking gate. Oh, it doesn't take itself seriously. That's why it's better.
I wouldn't be surprised the actors even said, "How can I take this movie seriously?"
I mean, like, things the size of
a cat.
So what do you expect?
Breaking out of cement concrete ground and it's all like, ah.
It's awesome. It's awesome.
think it ate a kid at one point because it's like, oh, look at that, and then it just goes ah.
Dude, the 80s didn't give a fuck about kids. They killed kids off constantly in the 80s in horror movies.
Dude, look at
No,
Children of the Corn.
Children of the Corn, The Blob, the remake of The Blob.
I've only seen some clips of the Blob. That actually looks intense, where like basically like acid eats your body away. Look
Oh, yeah, the
wild.
Blob's corrosive. It just dissolves your flesh, and you can see the victims inside the purpley goo, and it's just like you can see bones and skin melting. Ugh, yeah, it is. It's messed up.
That looks wild.
It's
I'm surprised it's not
incredibly
talked about
graphic.
more. I'm surprised it's not talked about more.
I mean, the original was with Steve McQueen.
Yeah. He's in it for like a hot second, too. That's
I
basically.
know.
It's like, oh, hey, by the way, oh, never mind.
By the way, this is Steve McQueen's debut, so this is why to check out this movie.
Wasn't it black and white, and the Blob like was like this brown goo that just like slowly moved?
Oh yeah. Oh
I
yeah.
remember it oddly enough. I think I've seen more clips of that movie in a Muppet Babies cartoon episode than the actual movie itself. Yeah.
Baby Scar. Oh my
Every
god.
now and then, every now and then they would like incorporate live action clips in their movies. Well, hell, they had Star Wars in the.
Didn't have Star Wars. It had some Venus flytraps from what I remember, but mostly Star Wars. Yeah. Speaking of Star Wars, I did finish The Mandalorian season 2.
Oh boy, you're gonna get Jeff going.
I liked so much in that season. Almost every episode I really enjoyed. And Jeff, you were right about the final episode, especially the final 15 minutes. I'm just like, the continuity is so fucked up now. What did you do? Why? Why did you have to put that in the last 15 minutes? It doesn't make any sense. Why? You were like ascending. The story just kind of fell off of a cliff in the last 10 minutes. Why? Everything was so good until why?
Dude, I understand why I was screaming about it for weeks.
Yeah. Why?
I think the best thing about season 2 was actually bringing back Boba Fett. Granted, they never explained how he survived the Sarlacc pit. They hinted at it, but they never explained it. But when he actually shows up and murders the shit out of like 30 fucking stormtroopers,
yeah,
I was like, holy fuck.
And they got the actor from episode 2, Attack of the Clones, the veteran actor, to basically be the older version of Boba Fett, and that makes sense because he is a clone. But
it's Aquaman's dad too.
Aquaman's dad, yeah, he's a veteran actor. I forget his name, forgive me, but he's a very talented guy. But yeah, he was badass whenever he was in the episodes that they had him in.
Dude, he had a shotgun like strapped to his knee.
Oh yeah. That's what I mean. Almost every episode, gold, except fuck, you couldn't just stick the goddamn landing. You had to do what you just did in the last 15 minutes. Why? I don't even want to talk about it. I don't. I can't. Why?
Oh my gosh.
I mean, Collin, you'll say the exact same thing when you see it eventually.
Eventually.
Wait, what? You froze up there, bud.
Oh, it was just.
You
it
froze
was just
up.
me
I
saying,
don't know what you said.
oh, okay, well, it was just me saying, you'll understand why when you eventually see season 2 or season 1, or you'll understand our frustration.
I know what happens. Luke comes in.
Now you're wrecked it for everybody.
Thanks. There you go. Yeah, okay.
Hey, from the things you guys said, I don't think I'm doing them a favor.
Always bitching at me
Everybody
about
knew
spoiling
about
shit, and you just like come
that.
out and say it.
It was all over the internet. I'm actually, I'm actually surprised he was clueless about it. Like, I was like, oh, okay. He
Every time I
has
scrolled
no
past
idea.
any article, I was like,
Like,
nope, nope,
I
nope.
even thought he
That's over.
overheard. I even thought you overheard Jeff and I talking about it at one point.
I don't know. I must have had dead ears that day because I didn't pick up shit.
But I mean, either of you been watching WandaVision at all?
No, I have not.
Honestly, like it's
Mm-mm.
good. I just
I
love the
keep
fact
hearing
that
it's really good.
yeah, like I love the fact that they just brought Darcy back, Kat Dennings.
Yeah, he texted that one picture. So that was kind of cool. But I'll eventually see it. I don't know. Like, as I was very skeptical about the announcement of that show, thinking, what's happening in this story? I don't get it. But then everyone I've talked to said it's bold, it's ambitious, it's unlike anything you've seen before, which I've heard a billion times about shit. But maybe they're right, and I'll probably see it eventually. I was actually kind of more excited for Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah, that was like the one I'm not like.
Yeah. I guess they're still doing She-Hulk. I don't know. I don't know what
Oh,
they're doing.
they're pretty cool. I
Yeah.
guess.
I'll be honest, as soon as I heard Marvel say that they were going to go more galactic with the Marvel universe, it turned me off. And the reason why is because like we got so much sci-fi stuff now that I don't know why they have to focus on cosmic outer space stuff with comic book characters when you don't have to. I mean, it's
Yeah.
a nice supplement to have, but now they want to just make it all like in outer space. I'm like, oh, okay.
The big baddie is
Yeah,
going to be Galactus. That's
I mean,
why.
well, I mean, like I could just watch Alien or Star Wars or Star Trek or something if I want to see more galactic stuff. Like
Mhm.
I don't need it from a comic book. So, I mean, I'm glad they wrapped up the overall story with, Iron Man, Captain America, those guys that started it. You still have Thor and Hulk and a couple
Mhm.
other guys, but I don't know about Hulk. I don't know what's going on with that because looks
Yeah.
like it looks like they're probably going to change the evolution of that character. Like they only made him like a Banner Hulk or whatever in Endgame because it fit the narrative of storytelling. It's like, oh yeah, he can be Hulk and still be Bruce Banner at the same time, and then watch the next movie, it'll be like, oh yeah, I couldn't control it anymore. And
Yeah.
it's just gonna be this
That's,
forever
I guess it's
problem for him.
cool. Yeah.
I guess with Disney getting a hold of like Fantastic Four, X Men, like they're now able to open all their doors. Come on, they've been hinting at the multiverse for how long,
Yeah.
and they hinted at it in Endgame, and I guess what now Doctor Strange 2 and Spider Man 3 are going to involve a lot of the multiverses. So I'm hoping that
Yep.
they actually do the right thing.
They hinted at Namor, the less cool version of Aquaman. Just stick to Aquaman. DC's got Aquaman. Namor is never going to top Aquaman, so don't even try. But they're going to try, I'm sure.
And I'm really curious about how Spider Man 3 is. Like,
Yeah, and then we kind of have like,
for me to say that because I'm not a big Spider-Man fan, but like I said, they're actually going to do Into the Spider-Verse, but bring back as many people from the other two Spider-Man movie series.
Hmm.
So I think that'll be fun.
Yeah.
I think Alfred Molina's even coming back as Ock.
Dude, that's awesome.
I saw that,
That's
and then I guess they're bringing back, was it Charlie Cox who was Daredevil on Netflix?
Oh,
He's
really?
supposed to be involved with Spider-Man 3.
you should be
Yeah,
because
might be like, oh yeah, Charlie Cox.
Daredevil was awesome. And
But
yeah, they would be stupid to not bring him back or to try and revitalize that show or even that character. So
I want more Punisher. That's what I want.
well, I want Thomas Jane as Punisher. That's what I want. Actually, I know there was a recent tweet that like Thomas Jane reached
I
out
want
to
more
John
Punisher.
Bernthal, saying he would like to direct John Bernthal in a Punisher movie. John Bernthal in a Punisher movie. which would be really cool.
Yeah.
And like even John Bernthal was like, "Yeah, that's an awesome idea.
Mhm.
Let's make it happen."
Well, Thomas Jane was involved with making that Dirty Laundry short.
Yeah,
Oh, love that.
love that
I
shit.
love that.
He and Ron Perlman, they just like used they just used whatever money they had. Like, hey, let's just make this for fun. And bam, look at what we got. It was a really fucking awesome short.
Oh yeah.
It was awesome. That would have been great if that was the Punisher sequel.
I know. Well, he said no to the
And we
Punisher
got,
for obvious reasons. Have you
yeah,
seen
this is-
Warzone? Yeah, unfortunately. Um, yeah, that was another show I finished a couple months ago. Was The Punisher season 2? Ugh, God, ugh. That's all I can say. Oh my God. I mean, at least the one thing that Warzone got right was the look of Jigsaw. This guy in fucking season 2 was just a pretty boy with a couple cat scratches on his face. Oh, it pissed me off. I know what they were trying to do. Mental scars are why he's psychotic and crazy. Don't pull that shit with me. No, just give us the traditional comic book Jigsaw. You're half-assing this whole thing. Not to mention you're creating a Harley Quinn Joker complex in season 2. Don't give me this shit. Come on. I'm serious. That's what they actually do with that character in season 2.
Oh, I read it because I was like, it felt like when I first saw the picture of him, it was like the first time I saw the Batmobile for Batman Begins. I'm like, okay, where is it? Like, why does this tank keep popping up when I click on the picture? I'm like, so he's gonna change, right? There's another picture. No, I'm like, dude, he got fucking fucked up at the end of the first season, and he looks like nothing happened to him. And I really doubt the world's greatest plastic surgeon worked on him when he was in the hospital.
You must have gotten Jack
So,
Nicholson's surgeon. Well, you see what I have to work with here. No, that's what he. No, that's what they should have gotten. They should have gotten him to make his face even more fucked up.
yeah.
Nope. Nope. Apparently, they hired the greatest plastic surgeon, so it just looks like he's got a couple cat scratches on his face, and still looks like he could be a fucking underwear model.
Maybe he is.
No,
Maybe he paid for all this stuff.
I guess. Yeah, that season
I'm
let me
also looking
down.
forward to Venom.
Venom 2,
Yeah, I love Venom.
Carnage.
I love Venom more than Spider-Man. I'm like, yeah, give me more.
Mm-hmm.
Although I've been thinking for years, we really needed a Spider-Man animated movie with the Todd McFarlane art. So
Yeah,
cool.
hey, Todd McFarlane created that guy, and it's fucking awesome.
I want to see that. Like a real gritty animated Spider-Man
Yeah.
animated movie.
Still waiting on that Spawn reboot.
Chuh.
When are we going?
Todd
When are we going
McFarlane.
on? We're going on 7 years since you announced it.
He says it's still happening.
He
He says,
says that
oh,
was
it's
7
still
years ago
happening.
when he announced it.
Dude, a lot has happened in 7 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true too. Well, just look at this year, this past year alone.
I mean, my God, they brought Spawn in as a character in one of the Mortal Kombat video games. That was
They got
fucking awesome.
RoboCop in as one of the Mortal Kombat characters.
Yeah. RoboCop, Alien, the Predator, Freddy Krueger, Jason, Leatherface,
Terminator.
Terminator.
I think there was a whole bunch. I actually ended up getting that whole set because, come on, 80s action and horror. I think Leatherface.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, I got it too. I ordered it too because most of the best 80s movies that I watch are all action based. So like, how could I not get this? In Search of Tomorrow. Oh, I'm excited for it. I really am. I think even in the comment section when you're filling out the paperwork and when you're filling out the questionnaire, they even ask you, what movie are you most excited to see in the documentary? I just put in bold caps, Predator. Please talk about Predator.
They kind of have to. That's like one of the big ones.
Well, he's on the poster art. You can see the Predator character on the poster. I'm like, so yeah, they're definitely going to be talking about him. They're going to be talking about RoboCop. That's being a big one, and Blade Runner and Terminator and all these great ones. Oh God, I can't wait.
Rambo.
Rambo, I'm sure he'll be on there. Yeah, he's on there. Die Hard.
Yeah. I remember hearing, this was a few years ago, somebody said, who would win in a fight, Rocky or Rambo? I was like, are you fucking serious? Who would win in a fight? Dude, Rambo would kill Rocky. Like, what the fuck?
Yo, Adrian, give me a gun or something so I can fight back, and actually stand a chance against this schmo.
Oh, I wasn't expecting a Medal of Honor, Green Beret.
Well, hey, Rocky, don't push your luck, or I'll give you a war you won't believe.
What do you guys think of the last movie?
I still haven't
The last
finished.
Rambo movie?
I honestly
okay.
just watched the last 20 minutes, where it becomes Home Alone meets 80s action.
Yeah, dude,
I'll be perfectly honest. I just watched the last 20 minutes.
Yeah, in general, as a whole, it's okay. It's not. I mean, for it to be called Last Blood in a finale Rambo movie, there really wasn't anything that moved the story along other than he just came back to the United States. It doesn't even feel like a Rambo movie because he's got short hair. He doesn't wear the bandana. But I guess for his situation where he never had a family of his own and he like took in this Hispanic family and the one daughter was kind of like a daughter to him.
Yeah.
That was like his way of finally having a family. I thought that was interesting.
Mhm.
And it was cool that he like made these underground tunnels under his ranch, and he had pictures of him from Vietnam and some of his memorabilia. I was like, oh, okay, finally we get some actual evidence of him back when he was a soldier in Vietnam. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, if you're a fan, I think it's worth watching. It's definitely not the worst movie I've seen, but it doesn't feel like a Rambo mill.
Mm-hmm. I still
Plus,
enjoy
update.
2010's Rambo a lot more. I thought that was actually a pretty decent return for the character.
7 or 8, I think you mean.
Was it? I thought it was 2000. Maybe it was. Whatever. The
I
fourth
mean,
Rambo
it's
movie
been a
just
while.
called.
I remember in 2001 they talked about doing another Rambo movie then because of September 11th. They wanted to have Rambo go kill Osama bin Laden. And I was like, oh, that would have been interesting.
Huh.
But he was already in Iraq or Pakistan when they did Rambo 3, so I guess plus it was still too soon. It was
Yeah. Okay. I get that. Yeah. The Nicolas Cage went after Osama bin Laden.
Well, what about the other big fun announcement? We're getting some classic comic book movie throwbacks in the comic book form.
Oh yeah, the
Batman 89 comic and Superman.
Yeah.
I read that. I was so excited.
Yeah.
I read that they said, "Oh yeah, we're bringing Kyle back." Yeah, the Michelle Pfeiffer version, and we'll possibly get Billy D. Williams to come back and probably see him as Two-Face. I was like,
yes, please.
What's this coming out?
Yes, please.
Why? Oh, that's wild.
Yeah.
10:20, John.
Say what?
It's 10:18.
Oh yeah, I got 2 minutes. I got 2 minutes.
Oh, okay.
I time it
John
the
had
way
to
I
leave
want
us,
it to. So
unfortunately.
I time it out perfectly. So I got 2 fucking minutes. So yeah, like I said, if you guys want to continue, by all means continue. But I'm probably gonna be
Well,
up for.
you also froze like when the time happened. Like,
Oh really? Okay.
and I was like,
Like the final
"Well,
20
you have
minutes
to
of this
leave
episode,
soon, right?"
you guys just talking shit about me while I'm gone. So that's what I'm gonna be
Absolutely.
expecting of.
It's gonna turn into a movie morgue episode where Jeff and I just say, "Yo, fuck John." No, it'll be like in that movie. What was that movie? This is the James Franco just shit talking on Danny McBride.
Yeah.
God. Well, that's a movie for another discussion because
Fuck you, McBride. Suck my dick.
yeah, I gotta be honest. When that movie was announced, I was excited, and then like a friend of my sister's who's seen a lot of comedy, she was completely let down by that movie. And like, what? No, there's no way you can be let down by that movie. It's gotta be funny as shit. I saw it at home, and I maybe laughed twice. That was it. For some reason, that movie just didn't really work for me because they showed the best parts in the trailer with Emma Watson showing up. That would have been a great surprise if they didn't ruin it in the trailer. Because she was actually the funniest part of that movie, and Danny McBride when he eventually showed up. I don't know. That movie just didn't make me laugh as much. I'm like, wow, I'm really let down by this.
I have to watch it again and give it a chance because I felt the same way. Although, I mean, Seth Rogen, he just never. I don't think he's that funny.
I mean, and also Craig Robinson. I thought he was another one of the best parts of that movie. I would love to see more of him in that movie.
Heck, I enjoyed what's his name? Jay Bruckheimer?
Jay Bruo, yeah.
Bruhl?
Yeah, something like that. I mean, don't get me
Yeah.
wrong. I like seeing
Yeah,
some celebrities get murdered in horrific ways. But
I mean, I like that he actually had a character with a little more substance. You know, and I mean, it wasn't like an Oscar-worthy type performance, but it showed that he broke out of the comedy mold. I mean, I even liked him in there was fuck, what's that movie? Tropic Thunder.
oh yeah, I know he's good in that. And the How to Train Your Dragon trilogy.
I used to watch him in the show called Undeclared. That show was all right.
Oh, I
Monica
remember
Keena
that
was in it.
show, Undeclared. I remember that one.
Watched it.
I remember the punk rock version of Somewhere Over the Rainbow.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they did that. That was like the trailer music was the punk rock version of Somewhere Over the Rainbow from The Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, I remember there was that show and Freaks and Geeks that was out at the same time. James Franco was in that, and I think Seth Rogen even sometimes did a few episode in Freaks and Geeks that was Undeclared. All right, John.
Oh, sorry guys, I gotta go to work and do the work, pay bills, and mouths to feed. So, all right, I'll see you guys later. Peace out. Turn to a movie morgue about me. I'm sure you will.
Fuck this guy. Been a lot. I think the last time.
So, fuck John.
Yeah.
Quick, he's not here.
Yeah,
Fuck him. Fuck his notes. Fuck everything. Your turn.
Oh, I said enough, dude. I was like ready to do. We know this man. Dude, I think I
do the fucking crap.
The 900 notes that he takes and the.
Oh my god, the novellas.
Yeah.
When we were trying to.
From the last time he picked up his notes.
Yeah. Remember the last time we were doing the Batman movie out at school, and we actually tried molding the mask on his head, and we had these like plaster strips, and we put them all over John's head. It, like closed up his eyes, and we left room for his nose so he could breathe. And we we like had him walk around, bumping in the wall.
Oh my god.
We're like, okay, John, turn left, turn right. He just got a haircut. We like had to cut it off at the sides and be very delicate. We cut a little bit of hair. It was funny. We wrapped him up, and the guy who knew how to do it was all like, "Hey, okay, we got it on. It looks good. I think we can make a good mask out of this." And then he looks at me and says, "How do we get it off?" I'm like, "I was hoping you knew that."
Yeah, dude, you're the one that was doing this.
I was like, "That's why I came to you." It's like the surgeon. All right, we cut him open. We found the problem. How do we get it out? We close him back up. What?
Oh my gosh. Dude, that
Good.
there is amazing.
Good times. Oh man. I don't really know what more to add. I mean, it's really been like slow news as far as movies go.
Yeah.
I haven't seen anything interesting, like besides the comic books of Batman, Superman from the '70s era coming out getting rebooted. I think that's pretty wild. I have no idea what the latest on that Flash movie is with all the Batman in it. Did you ever see that teaser poster picture where it's it's like every Batman, like
No.
Keaton, Affleck, and I think they even had Jeffrey Dean Morgan in it, and the Flash just kind of like peeks off to the side, and the caption reads, "Is this still my movie?"
Yeah. Even that story, the Flashpoint story, is so involved with everybody that it literally shouldn't even be called Flashpoint. Like, yeah, he's the one who started it. He's the one who like made everything happen. But dude, there's better stories for like Aquaman and Wonder Woman. There, Thomas Wayne. Like everyone has better stories, but the Flash.
And it's his story.
Yeah, I mean, like if they do that, I do want to see the battle between Aquaman and Wonder Woman. So the Amazonians and the Atlanteans would be a really cool battle, especially like Gal Gadot wearing the armor that she killed Mara for. I think that would probably be some of the coolest stuff ever. But who knows if it ever gonna happen?
Yeah. Especially because I think Wonder Woman needs to redeem herself a little bit after the second movie. I mean,
It was
I
good,
think,
but it
yeah,
wasn't fantastic.
I think it was. I don't know. I'm kind of curious to see like what a kid would think of that film because I was like, I feel like it was a lot more story and not enough Wonder Woman.
Yeah,
I
and I
I
feel
mean,
like
like I remember when I was watching it at your place, and I said felt like it was an hour into the movie, and I was like, oh wow, she puts on the outfit again.
yeah, like I feel like even Cheetah got tossed to the side like it was nothing. Like, oh yeah, one of her biggest nemesis, and you're like, fuck off, this guy over here though.
Yeah. I totally forgot Pedro Pascal was in that movie until you guys said something about it, and I was like, "Oh, he was in that." And then we watched it, and it's like, "Oh yeah, there he is." Like, oh, and he's the main bad guy. Oh, oh, yeah. And his character just, I don't know, just just didn't jive. Oh, it was the '80s, and like you said, maybe they were trying to do some like '80s cheese on purpose. I was like, I don't know. I don't know. Don't know what to say.
Maybe with them putting a physical
I'm
copy
just
of
more excited.
that like help redeem what they were thinking.
That was a problem with Warner Brothers there for a while. I remember when Batman versus Superman came out, they said, "Oh, here's an extended cut and it's better." And the same thing happened with Suicide Squad. And then before even Justice League was in the theater, they said, "Now, just remember, because everybody's hating on this movie, that it could actually be a better movie because this wasn't how it was originally supposed to be intended." And it's like, oh, for fuck's sake. Might as well tell everybody, yo, don't bother coming to the theater then to see this movie, which most of them didn't do.
Yeah, it's like, pretty much, fuck off. We're gonna show you another one anyway.
And they weren't even sure about that.
Yeah. I
I
mean,
saw some art.
that I think that's what Warner Bros. Was the one that really wrecked those movies. Because come on, cutting out a half hour that actually is part of the story to make the movie not make sense. Like it definitely did that in Batman vs Superman. Suicide Squad really didn't need an extended cut. It was already fucked from the beginning. So like no matter what you added to it,
Yeah.
it's not gonna fix it. I go the only way we got a redemption was because of Birds of Prey, and like even that,
Hmm.
it's a better standalone movie than Suicide Squad was.
Oh,
Not
yeah.
we didn't need to touch. Like it was a fun movie all the way through. So it's like even Wonder Woman, the first one was fantastic.
Oh my God, the first Wonder Woman movie was like, wow, there's some serious hope that there could be some really good movies in here, which there are. There's serious potential for it, but yeah, I don't know. I agree, like what you said and like what Troy said when we had him on for our Batman episode, that Warner Brothers just needs to get their shit together, and they really do. I mean, I remember when Batman and Robin was coming out, like the big direction that they gave Joel Schumacher was, you got to make this movie toyetic. I mean, I felt like Batman Forever was like that as well because they had different Batmobiles, different suits, and all sorts of outrageous things, and the toys for that were just all over the place. But I mean, it was like crazy when Batman and Robin came out. Like I just remember there was literally like one aisle alone that was just nothing but Batman and Robin toys. And I thought, it's like, are all these different versions in the movie? No, they're just there to sell toys.
Oh yeah, that's pretty much what I was gonna say about all of everything going from HBO to Warner Brothers is they're gonna get it through merchandise alone, all that money. Because come on, I'd say just back to Wonder Woman, the amount of shit they already put out for that movie prior to the movie even coming out, it's like crazy. Because like no one saw the movie and like, oh yeah, here's like toys, fucking Legos, everything. I'm like, dude, I saw the battle armor for what, maybe 5 minutes in the movie. It's like that's probably the coolest fucking thing ever. But
Yeah. I'm curious to see if they are going to bring Danny Elfman back in to do the music for the movie. I didn't hear anything about it
and they might go back with
because I
the
think that was a just.
yeah.
What?
And
Oh,
maybe
yeah, okay.
guy back too. I don't even know who they used for the other two movies, but
Yeah. Well, I think didn't Hans Zimmer do Batman versus Superman, and then he said he was done with comic book movies after that.
he might have. The funny thing is, I own it on vinyl, and like I probably listened to it a couple of times. It's like one of those things. Like I think the vinyls themselves are cooler than what really.
Yeah.
That's the thing with vinyl now too, man. Like it's becoming its own art form. So like it's not just a matte black. It's like all these crazy colors and fucking. I think the one for Justice League's green and like black swirls throughout it. So it's
Huh.
like yeah, like it's its own little art form now.
I think you were telling me about the Friday the 13th one.
Oh yeah, dude, that one I was excited to actually find because it was called like a campfire edition, and I'm like just trying to find the original Friday the 13th soundtrack alone is hard, but finding that one, which was even more limited, I kind of stumbled across it, and I was like, no shit, I didn't even let it go. 'Cause, like, hey, but it's like an orange and brown like swirl, and it looks like a fire going outwards.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So
So
if
are
I
you listening to the band First Jason yet?
no, I'm not fucking listening to that fucking band. I did when I first heard about it. I'm like, all right, at least give it a shot. Now, fuck that guy. Fuck him in his 2 seconds as playing James.
I don't even know why it pops up on my Instagram. That's why I keep sending you that stuff. It pops up, and I'm like, oh, okay. And I know you have a nice little Funko Pop collection, and so when I saw Ari Lehman first Jason and Funkos, I was like, yo.
I mean, like, I think even on my Instagram, I got like more horror than anything. I think I follow Barbara Crampton and wow, the chick from Sleepaway Camp. I cannot remember her name right now. I know it's
Alyssa
Melissa.
Rose?
Yeah, I follow those two right now because like they both have a lot like movies coming out. I think I tagged you in the one for Sacrifice with Barbara Crampton. I started watching it yesterday. It kind of has the same feel. Old movies are the Lovecraft feel. So it's like it's dealing with the other gods.
Okay.
I was like, cool. Like I got like an hour into it, and I didn't realize it was not like an hour and a half long. I had went to work after, but it was kind of a slow burn. But it was kind of cool, like seeing her like, doing that concept. But I'm curious to see
She
what.
produced Castle.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what horror is gonna bring in this year too, because like we had a big gap of time where nothing happened, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, we can still work through this, so let's see what we have.
Mhm.
And
Yeah, I
like you
mean,
said,
we got um, the only ones that I know that are coming out are Halloween Kills and Conjuring 3.
I'm kind
And
of curious.
Conjuring 3 I'm kind of on the fence for,
I'm
just because
curious.
I love. Go ahead.
I'm curious, but it's like you said, it's a third in a series. It's also what the eighth movie in the fucking franchise. They like
It's
murdered.
but it's more Ed and Lorraine Warren, and in a lot of, I mean, like the stories are cool, like in the first two movies, but I think at the core, it's those two characters that really make that franchise. Because I mean, I didn't know who they were before those movies were, and um, a friend of ours actually was the one who said, "Yo, dude, you gotta watch Conjuring and see that it's like legit, and that these people were real, as based on true stories and true events and blah blah blah." And I was all like, "Yo, man, I got more into who's Ed and Lorraine Warren. I wanted to know more about them." And it was weird. The one night I was watching like all these old interviews, and they were talking about like real haunted events and stuff. And well, I don't know if you remember, but at my old house, I didn't have the internet, so I had to go to a Dunkin' Donuts to do it. And I'm just there with like my earbuds and my laptop, drinking lattes, and just like, oh yeah, this is wild. Well, this was like at 2 in the morning or something
Oh my
ridiculous.
gosh.
Yeah, and I'm watching like all these Warren videos, and sure enough, my laptop just acts so fucking weird. And my girlfriend at the time was contacting me and just stopped, and I thought, okay, she's in bed. And then like a weird crowd of people came in, like as soon as my phone stopped and my laptop was acting up. I was like, is like is everything okay? I didn't own a gun at the time either. And then I'm thinking, oh cool, a cop's coming in. And I'm thinking, oh shit, a cop's coming in. And what does he do? He comes in. He literally just like turns his head and walks the fuck out. And I'm like, what the fuck's happening? So, and so I'm thinking, maybe it's a good time to leave. So I get up, I leave, I go back to my house. I got like 20 messages from my ex, and she goes, "What happened to you? I tried texting you for the last half hour," and I was like, "What the fuck happened?"
The funny thing is,
So I was like, maybe I
I was, like after I found out that they were real people, and he wrote books, I ended up like downloading I think all his books and I was reading them, and like I didn't know like how well to take everything because like it was written and the concept of yeah these are stories that they went and investigated, but as you like reading the stories, I mean like some of them seem like they're really far fetched, Like I get
I
it, like it might have happened, but I'm like, just the way it's playing out, it's just
Yeah, that's what I heard. That like there's probably a lot of truth to it, and it's like a lot of truth to like the actual exorcisms or something like that. But like a movie, that's what I heard the biggest thing is because I think I I can be wrong about this, and I don't want to like rag on Ed because he's passed away, but I believe a lot of people said he liked telling stories in general anyway. So if he wrote the books, maybe he knew to just do it for that.
yeah.
But in some of those situations, yet when they say, "Hey, write a book," I'm pretty sure there's a ghostwriter that says you got to put something else in here to make it more interesting because it could just be a situation where you actually go and witness what's going on. And they say like possessions can last. I mean, exorcisms to a possession can last like days, weeks, months. And it's pretty much just from what I understand, the priests are there and they're just saying their prayers to try to exorcise the demon out. And then in screwed up ways, the fucking demon sometimes comes back.
I'm back on that bullshit,
Yeah.
motherfucker.
I'm gonna ride on your back again.
I know it's like if you look at most possession movies, it seems like it's only been like a couple of days. Like, oh yeah, by the way, we're done. Okay, see you. No,
Yep.
been here for like a year, and you're. I think the only one that really touched on it was The Right with Anthony Hopkins.
It's been
And
a while since I've seen that movie, but I know what you're talking about.
yeah, even in that one, he was saying like, yeah, you can get him down to where the possession is a minimal thing, but they have to keep coming back week after week to just kind of like almost as a therapy thing, like talk to the demon and try to get him still kind of out.
Away.
And I was like, I never even thought about it like that, like because of how glorified they made him in the movies, like how quick and easy they made it seem. Like that was the first time I really like took it as, oh, this is not what it's supposed to be.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because I remember I gotta watch how I tell people this because when I was like learning about evil and Satan and all that other stuff, and I would like look up what do Satanists believe in and their 10 Commandments or whatever the hell it say 9 or 12. I don't even remember what exactly it is anymore. But I remember I would tell people about like how I said, yeah, I'm looking into this stuff, and they're like, whoa, why would you do that? And I'm like, listen, I'm a Christian, I believe in God, and I believe in Jesus. But the one thing that they never told us in, cat class and Sunday school church was like, your enemy. And like I've taken self-defense classes. We talk to Marines, we talk to, police officers and stuff, and we learn all sorts of like ways to defend ourselves physically, but it's like, yo, if I believe in God and Jesus, then clearly there's evil out there, and we hear about possessions, but yet possessions are never on the news. We always hear bullshit about politics, and it's just an old fucking show for ugly people that are just old. And it's like, yo, I don't give a damn about wrinkly fucking ball sacks on TV and saggy ass tits on old women that say, oh, Democrats are bad or Republicans are good or Republicans are bad and Democrats are all good. No, I don't fucking need that shit. There's right versus wrong, and you know, it's like, yeah. So I'd actually rather know about what's going on in a religious sense. Maybe it has something to do with separation of church and state. I don't know, but still, I'd like to know my enemy and be like, well, what if that fucking shit happens to one of us or somebody we know? It's like, well, how do we go about it? Is there
Oh,
something we can do in the meantime? Like, should I even be in the same fucking house? Things you need to know.
yeah, dude. He said that no one really talks about it because it's like a hush thing. Like, oh yeah, we're not gonna.
Exactly. And then when I tell some people about it, they're like, "Oh my God, you're looking into this stuff," and it's like, look, I'm not a Satan worshiper, and I'm not like trying to conjure up anything. It's like the last thing I want to do.
Yeah. Nobody needs
If
that extra.
anything, I'd be like, yo, yeah. If anything, I'd be like, yo, if you can bring me Kelly Brook right now, I mean,
Oh my gosh.
that's just me though.
Hey, I'm still impressed with that video. I'm not gonna lie.
Do you watch it still?
I think I watched it the initial time, but past that, no. Like I said, even with our stuff, like I watch it, I actually listen to the intro just to see what I'm about to get hit with. We say a lot of stupid things, and it's fun just to hear like what you used out of that whole first like 10, 15 minutes for recording. And I just love that because like it could be something that like out of context is just funny as hell. And then like sometimes I have to think about what we were talking about to be like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
But
I'm actually glad we do that a little more now. I know we were using movie quotes there for a while, and that was fun. I think that's part of the reason why we got hit for Knives Out,
yeah,
which
I'm
was stupid. For anybody who's listening, our Knives Out episode was taken down because some production company from fucking Sweden yet called Nordisk Films said that we were using copyrighted content. And technically we were. I mean, I'm not going to deny that, but we didn't show footage and I actually altered the clip so it wasn't like, we took it straight from the movie and just said, "Oh yeah, here's this," or showed the movie in general. I think one of the big things that really got us though was I noticed we kept on getting a lot of links for like bootleg versions to watch the movie, and I think they took it down. I was just like, whatever. People are gonna post what they're gonna post. I know that. Just look at my Twitter account.
yo, dude.
Dude, I was so proud of myself. I was like, I'm getting into Twitter fights now. All right.
I think that's probably my next platform. Like I'm getting there. I got the Instagram going, but it's slow going for me because I'm not a big social media thing. Like
Dude, I hate having it, really. I just know it's the thing where if you have a platform where you reach out to vast audiences, it's almost like recommended. And
okay,
like if something happens and you take off and you become a little more successful, is that they say you need to get on social media more. Because I was like this close to deleting it, especially after I got suspended from Facebook. I was like, really? For anybody who doesn't know, last year, I think it was sometime in May, it was considered National Prayer Day. And I said, I think National Prayer Day is a good thing. No matter what your secular beliefs is, let's just be positive. Let's put, the power of prayer into things and make something good happen from it. And I went to bed, and as soon as I woke up to get ready to go to work, I checked my emails, and it said that I was like suspended for 30 days and I violated terms and policies. I was like, the fuck? All for that.
yeah,
And I was literally off for 30 days. These guys couldn't tag me. I couldn't upload anything. Nothing, man. Fucking nothing.
yo, that right there is just like ridiculous. I mean, come on, I post a lot of stupid shit, and like you post the most normal thing on there, and also it's like, oh yeah, by the way, fuck off, get out,
Yeah, fuck you.
go sit in the corner now. You're
This offends people or something. I was like, what? Are you kidding me? And then now I get like all this weird shit where I'm in posts that I was tagged in, and now I'm untagged in, and old posts are deleted. I'm like, whatever.
yeah,
I mean, I don't post a whole lot anymore anyway. It's pretty much just the podcast, but I'll go on Messenger and talk to people more on there if I don't have their number.
I think there's what 2 months out of the year you'll actually see me post a lot, and then like random stupid things or like something with my daughter, because like I got family that lives in Indiana, Jersey, Mississippi now, and Florida. So it's like, yeah, I like to show my kid.
Yeah, I catch that more on Instagram. I'm actually on that more than anything. I like looking at pictures.
Yeah, I'm still kind of figuring out that too, like the whole posting. Like it's like, oh yeah, I'm trying to load a picture. Like I don't even know what am I doing.
Oh, by the way, for everybody, Cinema Sanitarium has its own Instagram page now. We post the thumbnails of the videos that Jeff makes, and some pictures of our crazy ass adventures and photo shoots and stuff like that. Fun stuff. I got a lot of comments from people that say, "It looks like you guys have a really good time and a lot of fun doing what you do." And I'm like, "Yeah, we really do."
Yeah, I'd say honestly, I'm hoping we get a couple more adventures in, like the drive-in. I know that they're just starting their schedule. Um, they're actually going to have the guy from the last drive-in there during July for a
Was
3-day
it
event.
Joe Bob or Jim Bob?
Yeah, Joe Bob. So I might actually go to that. I'm curious because it's supposed to be like 3 days of like vendors and everything like that. So that's at the Mahoning Drive-In, and I'm curious to see what the Zombie Fest is going to be like. VHS Fest, which we went to last year. There's a lot going on. Lexi and I were talking about doing their opening weekend with Wizard of Oz and Willy Wonka. I just got to see
Oh, okay.
I have off, and I might either do the Friday or the Saturday.
There you go.
Yeah,
That sounds like a fun double feature.
we might only stay for the one because we're old now, and apparently 11 too late.
Yeah, but if you had a double dirty dancing.
Oh my gosh, I'd probably still only stay for the first one, and then I'll give it time. I want
Or
to see
what
and I want to see Jurassic Park at the drive-in. I think that would be pretty cool.
that would be fun. Yeah, it's a shame that like the weather played an effect in what we did, because I know that was going to be your next movies that made us was Jurassic Park,
Yeah,
and then we got delayed. I mean, you got hit with COVID too, but I mean we could find ways around that. But I just remember like at one point you were pretty quiet there for a couple days, and I just thought, maybe work's getting to him, and baby, all that stuff. And then it was like, oh, by the way, guys, I tested positive for COVID. And it was like, what? What?
yeah. It was kind of crazy because like all I remember was getting the headache, and I'm like, all right, I thought it was just sinuses because like how warm it was getting and then how cold. I was like, whatever. I took that Friday off because my fever spiked up and would go back down like it was normal. I was like, all right, I'll sleep it off, call it a day, and then was that Sunday, Valentine's Day. I went to the doctor because my nose just kept bleeding, and I couldn't figure out what it was. And I'm like, all right, it's definitely got to be sinuses. And then when I get there, they're like, yeah, that's not. Because the nose thing is from not a symptom, but it's like, yeah, that's probably the dry air in your sinuses alone. But they go all the other stuff. I'm like, wait, what? So I had to kind of look it up because I'm like, I remember the initial symptoms weren't all that I had, so I didn't think anything of it. Yeah, yeah. And then getting tested was kind of crazy because she goes, I'm gonna count to three and we're gonna put the swab in. I'm like, all right. She'll tilt your head back and goes, she literally just says three and jams it in. I laughed because I'm like, all right, I guess it's the best way to do it because like everyone's gonna hesitate. So it was like a straight shot, and then
I did one at my job. They actually had us all go out and get mandatory tested. We were gonna get tested every 3 weeks or something, and then we got tested once, and that was it. And they told us to, when we did the swab up the nose, to just like stand off to the side because they didn't want us sneezing on them. I actually didn't think it was that bad, but that was also after the test got a little more advanced with it, I guess. I just found it interesting that they were able to test this virus through that swab and stuff. I just thought, wow, that's weird
yeah, it makes me wonder
for a
like
virus.
yeah, it makes me wonder what they used prior to that to like test everything. Like, oh, yeah, here I feel bad for all the people who had to go through the testing clinicals or
Yeah,
who
really.
actually tested. But if that's like the best way to do it, I mean, like, it makes me wonder what else they had to do.
Well, before it hit the United States really bad, I remember them talking about it in late October and November, of 2019. Like it was like talked about so much. Um, Actually, not in mainstream media. I remember because I don't like listening to mainstream media. I just know that they lie all the time, and I like listening to a lot of independent places, smart ones, not like the weird out there, like conspiracy theory type people, And um, I heard some guys were talking about it, and they just said that. Um, oh, sorry, my phone just went off.
Like, damn, that's loud.
But yeah, I get text alerts on my computer too with my phone. It's weird how it's like all synced up. But yeah, I remember hearing on these stations that they were talking about COVID and how it was affecting China and Italy at the time. It was hitting pretty hard there, and they said it's probably going to come to the United States because it's just a virus. It's just going to happen. And at one point, I said, "Yeah, I was just like so sick and tired of hearing about this virus, and it wasn't even like a deadly concern, you know." It was the fuck. Sorry, I'm trying to.
You don't hear
Okay.
it. It's like you hear this loud ding. It's like right in the middle of your talking.
I even tried to like put my phone on airplane mode. Well, I learned that doesn't work.
Dang. I'm a slave to technology. Come on, you saw me. Our eyes dart down a couple. We're talking.
Hey, I'm a sucker for like the 4K and the high tech movie technology. It's wild.
I mean, like, dude, that even that stuff has advanced so far.
Hmm. Oh, should we tell people about how we are undertaking a little project outside of the podcast?
Yeah. So John's working on his, and then all three of us are working on ours.
Yep. We're actually working on a movie based on us in the podcast.
I think that'll be
Trying to
fun.
make it a fun little, trying to make it like a fun little Halloween horror theme kind of thing.
It's
I
gonna
pitched an
come out.
idea to these guys, and they were like, "Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. We should do it."
Yeah.
I don't know if we'll be able to get uh, some friends involved that could be, but we'll see what happens. I mean, it's in process right now, so we don't plan on taking it like super serious, and because we just don't have the funds for it. So, and I know John's struggling to make a psychological thriller movie right now that he wrote called Splinter. Jeff and I actually read the script. It's really interesting. I think people will enjoy it. It's got good continuity, and it does make you think. It's like, whoa, man, John put a lot of effort into it, and I can see why he wants to get it made. He's having some ups and downs as far as funding goes, and that's new territory for him. John never really made or participated in making a movie that much. I mean, besides being a professional actor. And now with COVID, it's really different because a lot of small businesses are usually what fund the movie, and you pay them back as soon as like you get money from the movie with like a little bit of interest and incentive. And right now, because of them struggling, they're pretty much trying to hold everything they got. So I'm not sure how they're making films nowadays.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been hearing Hollywood's dead too because I don't know where they're getting the funds from, and they're still making films. I'm like, I don't know, because you got to make their money back, and then they also have money from the bank that they take loans out of too. Like I said before, the interest is part of the reason why they try to release some of these movies so that they're not like getting over budget to the point where it's just there's a point of no return for a profit, Maybe we'll start going back more to the old ways, like in the 80s, and crank out movies like the old slasher films where it's like, yo, let's make them for peanuts. Let's see what they get. And as long as they're fun, hey, we'll make some money from them. Maybe we'll finally get that Friday the 13th sequel we've been waiting for.
Listen, that's gotta they gotta get over their bullshit first, and then we can actually get something good.
Man, I saw another article where that was delayed again, some other lawsuit, and it's like, oh my god, stop, stop, just get over it. Come up with a deal already. For fuck's sake.
Like from this point on, here you'll get X amount of money. Shut up, leave us alone. Let's do this.
Yeah.
Now you're not hurting yourselves. You're more hurting the fans. That.
Hmm. I mean, I don't know how much money the writer of the original one is getting anyway. I mean, I find it understandable if he's like, yo, all these years I've been shafted and Sean Cunningham's just taking everything. Because I mean, if you did create a character, but there's copyright involved, so I don't. It's just a mess. And then, like you were saying, that there's kid Jason and there's 30-year-old Jason, and and then you got first Jason. So I guess the question is, who owns Ari Lehman?
The original writer. He's like the stepchild that nobody wants.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Dude, it's bad.
So Tim Burton's gonna be making a bit of a comeback. He's gonna be directing Netflix's Wednesday. It's gonna be based off of Wednesday Addams from the Addams Family.
Yeah. I'm curious to see how far that's gonna go too, because
Yeah.
Teenage Wednesday Adams. Wednesday Adams.
I know he wanted to be involved with the Addams Family for a while, and this is what we're getting. Like, I think at one point he talked about doing an animated Addams Family movie, wanted to do a live action Addams Family movie, and then we got that CGI one. I don't know how that happened, whether they beat him to it or if he just couldn't come up with something that they liked, and they said, well, we're still going to make this anyway. And now he's still involved, obviously. I'm actually really curious for you, being a Superman fan, to watch the documentary The Death of Superman Lives.
I know. I've been trying to find it. Like ever since you were talking about it, I was like, oh man, I gotta find it. I've yet to find it. And I was like, because Showtime had it for the longest time, and then all of a sudden it was gone, and then no one else has it. I'm like, I figured YouTube of all people would have it. No, they don't. Like once I find it, I'll definitely watch it.
Yeah, I was like, when I first heard about the movie and the concept, I said, "Oh my God, this sounds so bad." But and the teaser footage that they had of Nicolas Cage in the Superman costume, like the one with the he had long hair and a really like different S on his chest. I think it was even still had like the blue and it was like a blue and red, didn't even have the yellow S. Tim Burton said before the internet that was just a test costume, just to see what Nick Cage looked like in a suit. He said the Superman suit he was gonna wear was still gonna be the traditional red and blue with the yellow and red S. And there are pictures of him in the suit that they were gonna wear. Obviously, he was gonna have a black suit as well and like a solar suit to regenerate him and stuff. But I was also more impressed with the artwork that they had for Brainiac and the ships that they were going to use. It actually, like, the concept sounded dumb, but the art itself looked like it could have been something better than how it sounded. Is what I'm saying. And I think they said Sandra Bullock and Courtney Cox were going to be considered to be Lois Lane. I thought that would have been interesting.
Yeah, I can see more of Sandra Bullock than Courtney Cox though. Even
Hmm. Yeah. And the sad part is, it looked like they got so far and were ready to go, and I think they were gonna film in Pittsburgh, and
okay.
I believe they had the rights to do it, and it's been a while since I saw oh, they were way over budget, they said, and I guess they tried to like knock it down. they just couldn't come to like an agreement to what to take out and how to fix whatever special effects because they said the cost of it was just going to be astronomical. And then they used the money that they were going to use for Superman Lives into making Will Smith's Wild Wild West.
God.
Yeah. Yeah, it's terrible.
Giant spider in the Superman movie, and they ended up doing it in Wild Wild West.
Yep. So now all of a sudden it's all clear. And then apparently the producer Peter Guber, he was asked like, "Is it true that you didn't want Superman to have a cape and not fly?" Because Kevin Smith says that you had meetings with him and you told him this, and he was like, "That's ridiculous. Of course Superman needs a cape and he has to fly." So I don't know if Kevin Smith was just super high on weed or or if this guy's just not wanting to accept the fact that he said something stupid at the time. I don't know.
I can see the latter because honestly, like backtrack and be like, I didn't say this.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, that sounds really dumb. I mean, only an idiot would say that. It's like, and we could have had a third Michael Keaton Batman movie.
I think that would have been a fun too. So
Mhm.
maybe these comics will reinvigorate that whole Michael Keaton Batman and Christopher Reeves Superman because even had a good run with Christopher Reeves. Like, don't get me wrong, 3 was horrible, but it still was kind of fun just with Richard Pryor as being the villain. Worst villain in the world, but then you
Uh,
get was it Atom Man in 4 for the Quest for Peace? That movie's so trash, but it is so 80s gold. I mean, like,
I just heard that Quest for Peace was just so bad that uh, I think even in Christopher Reeve's book, he just skipped it completely.
just gonna.
Yeah, can we not talk about Quest for Peace? It was like, oh, poor guy. I was like, oh man, it's that bad, huh? Oh. Yeah, it sounded like they got Margot Kidder and Gene Hackman back in it, and I thought, oh, okay, there's an idea where they have Superman equal. It was like, okay, but I think that was the problem. They recycled ideas, like in Superman 2. It was like, okay, well, here you go. You got the Superman equal now. You don't think you need him again,
Yeah.
especially when he has so many other villains. But
I mean, come
I
on.
just think they didn't know how to treat him right at that time.
Yeah. After you do Zod, who do you expect to be his equal? Because Zod is literally his equal. And
Hmm.
Brainiac is probably your next step after that. Because, like, yeah, you're always going to have Lex. Lex is always going to be here. He's going to be the asshole. But you've got a lot more villains that could probably go toe to toe to him and actually do some damage. Like, later we got Darkseid and Doomsday. Those are two bigger villains that one obviously killed him, and then um, but even that version of Doomsday I felt was, how do I say that? It wasn't bad, but it wasn't fantastic. Like they did use some of the major concepts of Doomsday, and then they kind of Hollywoodized it a little bit too.
Yeah.
This looked like a fucking big version of Gollum from Lord of the Rings.
And I mean, I kind of flip flop a little bit and go, it wasn't a bad idea that they used Zod's body to do it. But then at the same time, I'm like, so isn't it like really Zod just reanimated then? Which is, I'm like, so it's not really Doomsday.
And if you think about it,
And
like
it,
I guess they were trying to do the whole let's try to keep more reality based, even with these supernatural powers, the with the mother boxes, everything like that. Let's try to use something that we already have to make a new villain. And going from Man of Steel to that, like there was not much of a jump. Like, what? It just seemed like it was a couple of days. Like, oh yeah, by the way, this is what happened.
Yeah,
Fucking
they
pissed off.
didn't give you much leeway. Although they don't really say. I mean, it could be months. It could be a year, for all we know. I mean, they did build that huge Superman statue that they put the graffiti on and stuff. So, I mean, they definitely let you know that some time had gone by. I'm actually glad that the reason for Batman being mad at Superman was because more of like his presence just brought destruction, and it could have orphaned another kid, even though Superman was trying to do good. That's part of the problem. Is like yeah, that was actually like a real serious topic. I thought that worked. Is you can have all this power, and you're gonna do well. It's kind of like being a champion. Everyone's gonna try to want to dethrone you and take you over, and that's the same way with life. I mean, fuck, dude, it's actually like what's going on in the world where countries want to take over and be the powerhouse. And I mean, America always has a target on its back because it's the land of prosperity and pursuit of happiness and freedom of speech and religion. Other countries hate that, and so they're going to try to take that away from us. I mean, some people forget that, like, we still have our vulnerabilities here too. And like George Carlin said, there's a big club that actually controls everything more. All you gotta do is buy them out. We talked about the power of greed in our Batman episode. I mean, man, just look at how people, especially when you're low and desperate for money, I mean, they'll put their faith and trust in you, and hey, at the same time, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, we'll help you out, but you're gonna have to give a little bit to let us do this for you. It's like, So like with Superman, it was that somebody's gonna be coming knocking on his door, and they're gonna try to take him out, and it's gonna be knocked down, drag out, and they won't give a fuck where they're at.
Yeah. She's yelling down.
All right. So you gotta get going.
Yeah, I probably should get going and finish going to work. You
All
probably
right. I'm probably gonna just get more sleep.
Yeah.
10 to 6 this week. All right. So with that, shall we sign off?
Absolutely.
Okay. So, thank you all again for listening. This is Colin Peters.
Jeff Manford.
Fuck John Rashetter. Stay safe. Stay crazy.
Please, somebody help me.
Oh, yeah.